Welcome to another episode of The Velvet Hammer.
And here we go.
Okay, this sounds like a terrible topic, but I actually think it's great.
What's the topic?
Committing and commitment.
Committing and commitment. To what and to whom? And
why is it cool?
Why is it cool to commit?
Why is it important?
I don't know, Mike. Why is commitment important?
Well, let me start.
Oh, wise Mike.
I think commitment, it depends on where you're talking about it, but like in relationships, it's the basis of trust. So,
yeah. Well, so there's personal commitment, there's work commitment, there's marriage commitment, family commitment, friend commitment. There's all levels of commitment.
Do we want to talk about personal or professional?
Well, I think we're talking about professional. Right?
I think that they're intertwined. They are. So I'll give you a personal example and then how it plays out professionally. So as you know, I'm divorced as of 26 years ago. 26 years ago. Oh my God. Can you believe that? And I thought when you get married, you just stay married. So we had troubles 4 or 5 years before we actually divorced. Serious trouble. And I refused to undo that commitment until, I should have gotten divorced 5 years before. I shouldn't have done that. It really kind of did some damage to stay out of pure commitment. That's how strongly I believe in commitment. Okay. I should have left, but I didn't. And I had children, so there's reasons for that. So if you take it to my professional life, as you know, before about last year, I used to speak around the country constantly. And then I stopped. I was able to stop during COVID and just do it remotely. And after that, I said, well, I have grandchildren now, and I'm not going to continue to do that. There was 1 year, and this is not an aberration, but this is the worst thing that happened. I had pneumonia. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it at first. Then it was diagnosed. I knew it at the time. And I had a speaking engagement in Atlanta. And I went to it.
Oh, boy. What happened?
I went to it. I looked like hell. And I gave a really great speech to a very big crowd because this is when Colossus was first. It was an insurance evaluation software program. And so I was really kind of giving talks because I did a lot of insurance bad faith about what it was, how it worked. So it was a very large crowd to hear that. And as I did back in those days, I would give it, spend one night, and then come home. And that's exactly what I did. And I can remember being on that plane, like practically hallucinating, thinking, why can't I just cancel things? Yeah. Why do I always take things so strong? When I taught law school for 7 years with Bill Bailey, and I was in there after trial. I did not take off because I was in trial. I went in there after trial. It didn't start until like 5 or 5:30, so I could always make it. That's crazy. So that is my credo, and it's just something that I've always had. When we took our personality tests here in the office for our coaching, my number 1 was strategic. My number 2 was responsibility. And it's just there. So I don't think that a lot of people think about that. I think we just look at who shows up and who doesn't. And we just kind of take it for granted. Oh, they showed up or they didn't show up, or, so many times I'd be at an AAJ conference, for example, and there would be a pitch hitter because the person couldn't make it for some particular reason or not. Normally not trial. Trial, you always understand that reason. But I cannot imagine making a commitment and then not following through on it. It's just part of my moral, this is the way I was raised, I think, by my parents. And that's why I feel it. Even when it's totally stupid, that I would stay. So that's how I wanted to start it.
Okay, for me, I think professional commitment to me is loyalty, and I am loyal to the commitment, and so I really will extend myself, and sometimes I think to my own detriment.
That's what I'm going to talk about more. Is this is not a self-righteous episode.
No, it's not.
Commitment's good, and commitments should be kept. I think we can all agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
But I take it too far sometimes. I just gave you 2 examples.
Too many commitments is what you were doing. Like, that's the thing. Is you're committing too much of your time to your
Mike, you're
commitments.
so dang wise. But that is so true. Like, when I was president of WSAJ, I went to every committee meeting. I went to every single roundtable around the state at least once. I had so many miles on my car because there was no such thing as Zoom. I wanted to know every single thing. It was like a full-time job. I've spent at least 30 or 40 hours a week, plus there's initiatives. Anything I do, even at the office, I tend to overcommit. So there's good sides to it. I get a lot of stuff done. The organizations that I work with are happy about that. But there's a lot of bad parts to it. And so that's what I want to focus on is we all agree it's good to keep your commitment whenever possible. This is not a moral high ground issue.
No.
But what happens when you are keeping it over all else?
Well, that's the thing. When you're talking about professional commitments, or any for that matter. I mean, for me, I don't do it as much anymore. Like, I still keep my commitments, but I don't give myself out as much anymore.
Well, you've given us some of those stories, like when your band
that's what I
they
was
didn't
gonna
have
go
a gig, and then you didn't get paid. You're the one that arranged for every single person to get back, and you did it without getting paid.
Well, it wasn't just that. When I worked in Seattle, I had a daytime job, but then I would work for bands at nighttime. So I was either working for the clubs or for individual bands. And so, like from age 20 to age, I don't know, 40, I was regularly working times where I would work, a 40-hour week. And then every night I would work from 6 to 2:30 or 3 a.m. and then go to sleep. Then have to go unload all the gear and stuff and get home at about 5 and sleep for a few hours and go to work.
Unhealthy.
And I did that for a long time.
How long?
And I think I did that for like 5 years. And then I started working with touring bands, which is when you get into what you were talking about, where, you're going from one show to the next show. I'm getting like 2-3 hours of sleep at a time, and then maybe an hour of sleep at another time per day, where then the rest of the time, literally, I'm either working or we're on the road where I'm trying to get stuff done before we get to the next show. So,
Well, I can even say that, Mike has worked here as long as I have, and probably the most dependable person. Like, if something goes wrong, Mike is going to come over here. Even like if something sets an alarm off, he's going to be over here at 2:00 in the morning from West Seattle. Like, you have routinely always done that.
Yeah.
There's anything that goes wrong.
When I was like 4 weeks out of heart surgery.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because you were here too.
Yeah, we came.
When the building got broken into.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah. You guys, right now, my commitments are,
We've been fighting, first of all. We've been fighting about your commitments.
Yeah,
he's so overcommitted.
I'm president of the Federal Bar Association. I'm on the board of Washington Innocence Project. I'm on the board of the Office of Law Enforcement Oversight for the county. I teach
law school twice a week currently.
I hold open gyms for kids to play basketball. And
you have a 12-year-old kid.
And I have a 12-year-old kid.
And a wife.
And a
long suffering.
And so
we're totally neglected. Not really.
And so, but I can tell you what drives.
And you like to play basketball and work out.
And basketball
and have friends.
And what drives me is...
And you want to coach your kid again next year.
Yeah.
On top of everything.
Well, what drives me is what gives me the energy to do it. And is that I feel like when people, I feel like there's a need and people reach out to me and then I want to meet the need, right? And I think that so far, I've not had somebody come to me and say, hey, you made a commitment to do this project and like you did not do it well. You failed. You didn't show up. So like that concept, that is like, I will not let you down. I will be exceptional. I will give you my all. I will be my best. And knock on wood.
Okay, enough of this self.
I'm not, but wait.
Let's talk about the fight.
Well, let's go to the dark side.
Let's go to the dark side. Let's talk about the fight. Okay. I tell him, you cannot coach again next year. You cannot coach these kids. He made up a second team. And I mean, not only did he coach them, he had like the dinners afterwards and he would take them on adventures and all of this stuff, right? I said, no. He goes, you're right. I'm not going to do it. And then 2 weeks later, he goes, yeah, no, I'm going to do it. And then I said, okay, so what's going to give? Well, nothing's going to give. I can do it. I mean.
But okay. So when I said, can I talk about like, I said to you, I'm not going to do it. And what like triggered me to want to do it. The kids.
No.
But you got to, I mean, I'm just telling you, the kids came to me and said, and they said,
Mo?
They said, that was best experience.
Mo, you got
and you know, Mo. You're just like thinking, well, just thinking like, if
Mo.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
And Karen, admit it. We all three stick to our commitments because we have a hero complex.
Yeah.
We believe that we must do it. I believe
it's my job.
We must do it.
Yeah.
We owe it to them. And we're going to do it. It's a hero complex. Admit it. Just say it. You haven't admitted it.
Yeah, it is a hero complex. I admit it.
No, not it. I
have a hero complex.
It's like my name is Mike and I have a hero complex.
My name is Mo and I have a hero complex.
When you work as much as we do,
Hi, Mo.
You do.
Hi, Mo.
You know.
Oh, yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing.
You know
fine,
that you
Mike.
do it because you are getting rewarded. You feel like there is a reward that happens when you're doing it. That's why we do it. And our reward is other people need us, or we have an accomplishment, or we get rewarded by doing.
You feel validation.
We do. Now, other people don't. Other people are happy with other people
yes.
doing their work and just taking on, other people are motivated in different ways. We are motivated, all three of us, that we feel personal self-worth through our work.
And
volunteerism.
But the opposite.
Well, for me, it's that commitment is where that comes from. Like knowing that I've honored that. Not just being the hero, but it's all part of it.
Good point.
As a whole. But where I was going to go and talking about the dark side is the problem with that is then something has to suffer because you're putting your efforts into that. So, like when I was doing that before, my personal life and my relationships were suffering because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mo, what's suffering?
Well, can I just...
We don't want you to say anything except for...
We're just going to keep going. Side. So, Mo, what do you have to say? And this is...
And, well, what I can tell you, honestly, that if I'm not into commitments, if I'm not doing these things, the opposite is silence. And that's problem for me. Like being alone, being silent with my thoughts, and my commitments. I mean, I'm just telling you what.
You haven't written poetry in months.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like what you were just saying there, I was like, so you don't like silence. Where's your writing come from?
Well, the writing is the voice in my head speaking.
Filling the silence?
Filling the silence.
Okay.
But like just pure silence is not a good place for me.
There's no such thing.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, just being with myself. I mean, it is a. You're asking me about like what's suffering. What's suffering is that I'm avoiding sometimes suffering by being involved in commitments. When I overextend myself, then yes, I don't have more time to commit to my family, because if I wasn't teaching, I would be home having a meal with my family.
Okay,
so yes, that's
so everything that's suffering is your personal life
Yes.
suffering. So
Yes.
basically what you told us is that your personal life suffers because of your desire to fulfill commitments to other people.
I think that's fair.
All right, so what are we going to do about this? It's too late for me. I'm too old.
Wait,
I'm a lost cause.
because you're not going to change.
I can't change.
But I got to change. So.
You're 20 years younger than me.
Well, I can cut down my hours to, your regular 40-hour weeks
And
at work.
How many things did you say that you were involved with?
A lot.
Okay, it's not just a lot. It's what?
Too much. So maybe I got to figure out what I can cut off.
Are you going to coach next year? Listen, watch this.
Oh, I'm watching. He's
But if you just see those kids, you see their little hearts light up and the joy. It's just like.
no excuse.
I have no excuse. Can we just talk about something else, like not the kids? I mean, kids in basketball is like.
Okay, if you don't want to give up the basketball, then what are you going to give up?
I think I got to reevaluate my professional commitments. My external professional commitments.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like for me, when it had to do with sound and working for bands, I had to stop. I just said I retired from it, and then I didn't. Like there were a couple bands that didn't play that often that I worked for a few years, but 10 years ago, I remember having a conversation with one of the bands that were trying to get me to do it. Like, come on, man, it's not that big a deal. You haven't done it forever. I was like, no, I can't do it anymore. Because if I say yes to them, they're going to tell somebody else. And those guys are going to want me to do it. And then they're going to tell somebody else. And then suddenly all my nights are full again. Yeah. So I personally was like, I got to make a commitment to my wife and my life. And now I have a couple bands of my own that we play every once in a while, and it's not any pressure. And I don't work for anybody else. I have this job, and that's it.
It almost sounds when I'm reflecting and listening to us talk that and it, of course, there's articles on this, that it's basically addictive behavior.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
So how do you get away from addictive behavior? Well, not easily. And not by a little micro step. I do the same thing that Mike does, and he's, we've talked about that. I go cold turkey and just carve stuff out.
Yeah.
Once you start going back into it, then it'll drag you back into it, and I'm unwilling to do that just as he is because I know what'll happen. So we've tried to spare you some of this, Mo, by giving you wise advice that you're so far ignoring.
Wow. Wait a minute. Who said I ignored it? I just got the advice.
You just said think about the kids.
I just got the advice.
No.
You did.
I just got it.
You're
Give
just
me some
starting.
time.
I gave you this advice like 4 months ago.
Well, I'm very good at habit forming, new habit forming. I think I'm very good at that. So,
I think it's important
yeah.
in your situation to, like you said, balancing the professional commitments. You don't have to be on multiple things.
Yeah.
You can have one thing and then have time to do the basketball with the kids and then have time to hang out with your family.
And you want to always lead it. You're in stuff that you're always in leadership.
Yeah.
Which automatically makes it something that you're going to be committed to.
Yeah. Because showing up is 99% of it.
Yep.
Okay, you guys. All right. I confess.
I guess that this podcast name should not be commitment. It should be uncommitment.
How to
Uncommitted.
How to uncommit.
How to uncommit.
The
yes.
perils of overcommitment.
That is what this one should be called.
All right.
Okay.
Good one. Well, that's all for today.
Until next time.